Hello my friends and welcome to a Superman themed episode. A new trailer for the Justice League just came out, and my reaction to it was, oh wow, there's an African mask in Lois Lane's apartment. The hell is that all about? Well, I'll tell you what it's all about, because I believe that mask was from the time that Superman went to Africa. When did that happen? In Batman v Superman, that's when. That's what today's episode's going to be about. We're going to be talking about not only the mask in this new trailer, but also the African parts of Batman v Superman. So, what might this African mask in the Justice League trailer be? It can be hard to tell given how dark it is in the photo. My gut reaction was it's a Chokwe mask, but just in case I compared it to some other African masks as well, like Bale, Punu, and other people's masks. That said, I still believe it's a Moana-Po mask from the Chokwe people. Yes, that's the same type of mask we saw in the background of the Black Panther trailer. As stated in that video, the Moana-Po mask along with the Chihongo mask in the past was used by royalty to collect tribute. But these days, these masks are used mostly for entertainment. That said, another known use for the Moana-Po mask is that it is danced during initiation into adulthood for young boys who are becoming men. Moana-Po represents a founding female ancestor and symbolizes fertility and the important role of women in the Chokwe matrilineal society. The Chokwe trace family descent through their mother's lines. Despite depicting a female ancestor, the mask is worn by a male dancer who would have a costume with a skirt, feathers, and false wooden breasts. A Moana-Po mask may be inspired by a particular woman or be an idealized character. Alrighty, so chances are either Lois or Clark bought this mask when they were in Africa during the events of Batman v Superman. In this movie, they traveled to a fictional country named Nairomi, which most likely was named after Kenya's capital city, Nairobi. Its name comes from a waterhole known to the Maasai people as Enkari Nairobi, meaning cold water. The city of Nairobi was built in Kenya's highlands at an elevation of 5,500 feet. It was founded in 1890 as a small settlement and grew into a city by 1954. Nairobi is a central hub of important railway, sea harbor, and airway industries. The railways, in fact, are the biggest industrial employer in the city. Now that you've seen some images of the real city, whose name served as inspiration for the fictional Nairobi, you may have noticed it looks nothing like the real-life city. That's because the location in the film is largely based on the architecture of Mali. Why did they do this? My guess is the art designers probably wanted to go with a more traditional and unique look for the location. Couldn't they have just given it a name that sounds like a Mali location, like Timbuktu then? Possibly, but it's likely that this Nairobi wasn't made just for the movie. Like Wakanda from Marvel, it may be a place that appeared in the comics first. Frankly, I'm not sure since I haven't read tons of comics. Anyway, Mali's architecture is fantastic. Technically, this isn't the first time we've talked about Mali's architecture, and it won't be the last. We first talked about this architecture in the Black Panther trailer and more recently in the first Majora's Mask Remodeled video. Plus, I plan to talk about it more in an upcoming Mario Maker video. Every building in the historic sector of Mali's famous city Djenne was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The buildings found here are all beautiful examples of Sahelian mud architecture. Yep, these buildings are made of mud brick. They utilize a special mud mixture of durable minerals. Though these can erode over time from rain, local architects have a strong tradition of repairing the old buildings, which is made easy by the wooden posts that stick out from the buildings, allowing for easy climbing. The interior of the African building in Batman v Superman, however, seems to reflect a different style. The decorative patterning on the walls is reminiscent of Guru-Nansi architecture. The term Guru-Nansi or Grusai generally refer to peoples living in Ghana and Burkina Faso who share certain cultural and linguistic roots. Many Guru-Nansi were also historically conquered and subjugated by their neighboring peoples such as the Mosai. Guru-Nansi people include the Kasena, Nuna, Sisala, Kusasu, and others. For the sake of focus, let's talk about one Guru-Nansi people known as the Nankani. The Nankani built labyrinthian-esque compounds to confuse invaders and constructed the entrances of their homes in such a way as to allow one to be able to shoot an arrow at an enemy without the enemy being able to see them. But of course, fortification is not the only thing in consideration when making these buildings. Men's dwellings are typically square in shape and women's are circular. Though built by men, the beautiful decorative patterns on the buildings are made by the women. Some of the patterns can help deflect rainwater and prevent erosion. But of course, there is spiritual meanings to these patterns as well. One known as Yador, which is a series of horizontal lines, stands for cultivated fields, which signifies long life. The image of a snake is a reference to eternity. And another pattern called Zalanga, which are those diamonds being halved into triangles, refer to a braided rope that holds a woman's private collections of her most valuable and sacred objects. Many more patterns also exist, and they are applied to baskets, pottery, and even people's faces. It's a beautiful culture. Alrighty, now that we've looked at and discussed the African art in Batman v Superman, let's look at Superman utterly destroy all that art. Because that's what Superman does best, is wreck people's property unnecessarily. Usually it's a car he smashes into somebody's head, but this time he not only ruined somebody's property, but he ruined art history too. Also, he probably just zodded that guy. Thanks, Superman. I'm sure there wasn't like 5 other ways you could have disarmed that man. Look, he even made this nice lady cry. This is why Batman should have handled this situation. If you enjoyed today's video, please click that subscribe button, and maybe check out the links to the other videos. Alright, time to fly. Up, up, and away! I forgot I can't fly. Shpoop.